Given the issues LMPD has faced in the recent past, it was shocking to hear the mayor say a police chief on the job for less than 2 years is suspended. And now we're hearing audio from a meeting the chief had with command staff and the major making the allegation of sexual harassment against a coworker. Rick, this was a bad wreck. 4 vehicles were involved, 2 people sent to the hospital. At least one of those people is in serious condition tonight. Unharmed, though, was the driver of the truck, who escaped injury and maybe even death after an incredible act of bravery. The man you see behind me is 23-year-old Maxwell Samarian. He's in jail tonight, accused of cutting his mother's throat after apparently breaking into her locked bedroom. This case is the first homicide of 2024 in New Albany. Law enforcement there also reports a 15% decrease in violent crime compared to this same time last year in that city. Now, as for Maxwell Samarian, he's being held at Metro Corrections in Louisville, awaiting extradition back to Indiana to answer for his mother's murder. And Rick, as you said, I am standing in Wyandotte Park. About 3 blocks of this area has been taped off by Louisville Metro Police, all part of the crime scene, most of it down Warren Street, which is right behind me. Now, here's what happened. And the chief says body cam video of this incident will be released within 14 business days. And we are live tonight in Wyandotte. I'm Randall Kamm, WLKY News. What we're about to see happened 13 days ago in Louisville's Chickasaw neighborhood. It may be tough for some to watch, but while we see an officer go down, we also witness a remarkable act of heroism as another policeman arrives and makes a life-saving decision. Okay, Rick, so as you can see behind me, investigators still out here working the scene where this officer-involved shooting took place. Now, here's what happened. According to Louisville Metro Police Chief Jacqueline Gwen Villarreal, no cops or citizens were hurt. The chief says body cam video of this incident will be released within 10 business days. Reporting live in Wyandotte, I'm Randall Kamm, WLKY News. It is, Vicky, but that means it is the most minor of all hazmat situations, so that is certainly good news. Just a short time ago, Louisville fire officials telling us they have this fire under control, but as you can see, there is still a large presence out here. Okay, Vicky, let me show you what's going on out here right now. Take a look behind me. You see an LMPD car. You also see what appears to be the crime scene with the police lighting up that area. Now, Vicky, arson investigators will soon begin collecting evidence from inside this warehouse. Fire officials and folks who live here say there have been complaints about homeless people being inside that building. Well, Rick, I can tell you right now, I am standing on the roof of a house that took a direct hit, but it's not the roof anymore. It's now on the ground. It was up there, but as you can see, there is not much of a roof left. It has been totally knocked off this home. This should be a sad story, and it is. A 10-year-old boy is dead. But when you see Jake's mom, dad, and sister and how they're handling grief, you'll know this young man, who lived a short life, was loved every minute he was alive. On Thursday, Trey Luxemburger buried his 10-year-old son. A day later, he was back on the field, helping coach Jake's team, the Bananas.
Sunday when I was at his house with his family, he said, "John, you got to play. Jake would want you to play, so you about to get out there and play."
A father and coach teaching a life lesson about handling grief to Jake's teammates.
Every single kid on my team that came to the visitation, he sat down on their level, talked to them face to face, and let them know how special they were and how special they were to Jake.
According to Kentucky State Police, a trooper tried to conduct a traffic stop on Interstate 71, but the driver, 23-year-old Timotheus Walter, took off. A high-speed chase followed and ended when Walter crashed into the SUV Jake was riding in. The 10-year-old died from his injuries. His grandma, who was driving, is okay. Walter is charged with murder. The Bananas warmed up for their first game without Jake. His friend Ben taping Jake's name and number to his jersey.
They would all play as Jake Luxemburger, number 3 today, if they could.
Jake Luxemburger loved the Louisville Cardinals. Head baseball coach Dan McDonnell wears the same number Jake wore, number 3. Coach McDonnell and some of his players, including 3 from Oldham County, addressed the team before the game. Then, the coach invited Jake's mom, dad, and sister to the next Cardinals home game.
Bring the whole team out and let the kids run out for the national anthem. And whoever wants to start the first pitch, we'd love to honor Jake and you guys. We'd like to be a part of it.
We'd be honored. We'd be honored. Coach, this is my wife, Jake, so. And it's my daughter, Ryan.
Jake's sister was also the first batter of the game. making a trip around the bases to honor her brother.
His sister's, freshman at South, and they're just so strong. The whole family is.
Jake played center field for the Bananas. Before the game, his coach and teammates unveiled this sign.
That's going to be Jake Luxembourg's center field for as long as Linden Recreation is around.
Jake's dad, Trey, in the blue hat, touching his son's sign before it was time to play ball. The Bananas batted first. One player hit a home run. Jake's dad coached first. When it was time for the Bananas to take the field, a player ran to Jake's sign in center field, laying down the hat and glove of a fifth grader who will forever be an angel in the outfield. Jake would have turned 11 on Monday because he was such a big Louisville Cardinals fan. Students and teachers at his school, Kenwood Station Elementary, will wear red for his birthday. Several fundraising accounts have been set up to help Jake's family. Those links are attached to this story on our website, WLKY.com. Reporting live in the studio, Randall Kamm, WLKY News. Rick, this was a bad wreck. 4 vehicles were involved, 2 people sent to the hospital. At least one of those people is in serious condition tonight. Unharmed, though, was the driver of the truck who escaped injury and maybe even death after an incredible act of bravery.
I was not nervous at all going over the edge.
Louisville firefighter Bryce Carden is being called a hero after going over the edge of the Clark Memorial Bridge. A crash involving a semi and other vehicles happened around noon. The truck and its female driver dangling perilously from the bridge. Louisville Fire was on the scene in just 3 minutes. It took about 40 minutes to set up a rope system so the 29-year-old JCPS grad could rappel down to the cab. Firefighter Carden describes what happened next.
She was just praying. She was praying a lot, and I prayed with her. Everything slows down, and you think about what needs to be done.
With rescue divers waiting in the water below just in case, Carden reaches the truck driver. Louisville Fire Chief Brian O'Neill describes what his firefighter encountered next.
As you're going to somebody being rescued, obviously, they're scared. This is a horrible situation. She's dangling off the edge of a bridge, doesn't know if it's going to slip in, but she stayed very, very calm. Firefighter Carden got to her, was able to keep her calm and assist her. Not only had to cut her out of her seatbelt, but then helped her to get into the rescue harness that she was able to wear, and then assist her once she was locked in.
I told her, I said, just take a deep breath, and then here's what I need you to do, because I needed her to assist in, moving certain ways to be able to get the harness on right. And once we did that, we got her free of the seatbelt, and she was on my system, so I knew that we were good from there. We just needed to bring her on up.
Once safely on the bridge, the truck driver, a military veteran, was taken to the hospital as a precaution but appeared to be okay. At least one other person involved in the crash wasn't so fortunate, sustaining what city officials call very serious injuries. Another person was also taken to the hospital, but their condition is unknown. Nearly 7 hours after the crash happened, the semi was hoisted up. Louisville Metro Police are investigating what caused the crash. For now, the bridge will remain closed in both directions until a safety inspection is conducted.
At this time, we're going to leave the bridge closed until our team can go and look at the structure of the bridge itself and determine the extent of the damage and when that can possibly be reopened.
A dramatic and heroic scene playing out over the Ohio River on a rainy Friday afternoon. A courageous firefighter risking his life to save another.
We've definitely done a few crazy things, but yes, this tops it so far. Like I said, we trained for this situation probably 100 times, but to actually put it in action, it felt good. We had a successful rescue, and now we go back and we do it again if we have to.
A few hours after the tractor trailer was lifted from the edge of the bridge, KYTC engineers began their inspection. As you can see behind me, they're finished for the night, but that inspection will continue again tomorrow morning. By the way, each of the lanes up there on that bridge only 10.5 feet wide, which doesn't leave much room for error, according to transportation officials. And again, no timeline right now for when the bridge will reopen. Reporting live downtown, I'm Randall Kamm, WLKY News.